commercial clients that we look after, again, I think it's about networking and having key sales guys on board that are actually networking with those clients and let them know what's happening, what's going on, and what's new. What's new is important too. So yeah.
This is the Ryan Marketing Show, and you're listening to episode 19 of 100. Today I'm with Matt Stevenson from HSM Group in Hastings, Hawke's Bay. Now, Matt, you've got a pretty exciting business in security.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Basically, what we probably makes us a little bit unique is we offer the one-stop shop. So in the security side of things, we found there's a real niche in the market where a lot of the bigger companies like the Chubb and the Armour Guards were selling off or breaking down their security divisions. We wanted to actually be able to offer our customers the one-stop shop. So we do the monitoring, the guard work, we do the fire detection work, the security, access control, CCTV, the full Monty. So really much taking that approach with our customers as the buck stops with us, and being able to offer all those services under the one roof. Yeah.
So it sounds like from that your business is really around the commercial or
Yep.
business-centric services?
Yeah, we would say probably about 80% of our business is commercial based, and then the others made up of residential side of things. Yep.
And what's happening in that space in terms of security? What are some of the things that as technology is touching all types of different industries, how is that changing what's happening in security?
Yeah, probably in security, especially with the commercial, is more health and safety. So a lot of our systems we're installing these days have integrated health and safety measures. So a lot of access control systems, that type of thing. So we'll know who's on site, who's off site, time and attendance. Also, obviously, if there's a fire evacuation, we can immediately email out those key people that need to know who's on site and that type of thing. So yeah, so probably a lot of the product out there is more adapting to that commercial package, and offering that one stop.
Right, okay. A bit of chainsaw in the background now. Let's just close that window. It's always when you go to do the interview that you get the chainsaw starting.
Yeah.
So if your business is started in security and it's moving now into more around business processes, around health and safety, so going actually more into the business around securing, like in and out, knowing who's there and who's not there.
Even in our guarding division, that's something that's really grown the last 18 months. We have got more involved in like supermarkets and courthouses and that type of scenario where they're contracting a lot of that type of work out. And again, it's having our guards meeting their particular health and safety requirements on that particular site, but also being able to offer a clean service from that point of view. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you see in looking way to the future, there's some conversation in the marketplace around automation and robots taking over from people in certain areas? Where do you see that mix really changing from guarding now to? Or do you think there's always a place to have
I think there's always going to be a place. I think the technology is probably a lot more smarter and helps us managing our staff and giving our customers the right reports and the information. I think the reporting in factor for our point of view and for our customers, for who's on site, off site, information data they're gathering. We do a lot of live CCTV here, where for schools and businesses where we can audibly talk to people on site. So our monitoring staff, if they see an unwelcome visitor or a skateboarder or that type of thing, they can zoom the camera in, get a good ID shot, and then if needed, we can contact the police immediately or dispatch the guard and let them know exactly where that intruder is. Or if it's just like for some schools, it's kids on skateboards, that type of thing, we can audibly talk to them and say, hey guys, no skateboard, you know, you in the pink shirt or you in the grey shirt, no skateboard riding here, you've got to move on, or whatever the case may be.
Do they respond to that?
Yeah, definitely. You obviously get some regulars where we have to dispatch a guard to actually issue a I'm just trying to think trespass notice, that type of thing. But yeah, no, it works well. It works well.
So you're really using technology to help the guards prepare before they actually get to site.
Absolutely.
So they're not going there to understand what's going on.
Yep.
They're there to then complete something that your head operation.
Yeah, and a lot of our customers as well. You know, cameras are great, but at the end of the day, if you can't identify the number plate or you can't identify that individual, all you're doing is seeing it's somebody in a balaclava who's driving a stolen car that's broken into your business, and it's after the event. So that's not a lot of help to a lot of people. Where if we can actually identify someone coming on site and catch them in the act, or catch them before they actually go that next step, then you know that's again offering our customers something unique and different that not many people do in these days. So yeah.
So really, if you've got a business that's in that either a commercially sensitive space, or you've got commercially valuable items or people or things happening, then there's an opportunity now to prevent bad things happening to those areas, rather than just picking up the pieces the next day.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that's where security is really starting to grow. We've got, like, even now for fencing, we do also part of what we do electric fencing and perimeter fencing as well. And one product we're looking at getting into in the near future is it's underground cable, which will give up to 2 meters in height and about similar type distance and width. So it's invisible. So if someone walks across that invisible barrier, you know, then we're getting an alert back here into the monitoring room. So so these little things like that are out there in the marketplace that aren't a physical barrier, but obviously an invisible barrier that you're wanting to arm at 9 o'clock at night, or whatever the case may be. So, you know,
does that help then with that cat and mouse game between those the baddies and the goodies?
Definitely.
That you actually know something and they don't know where that's buried.
Yep, exactly. So they know what's going on, what's happening. So yeah, it's always trying to stay slightly ahead of it. But and let's face it, most criminals are young kids, you know, or people that are usually stoned or whatever the case may be. So they're not the brightest people in the box. And then you obviously get your more professionals ones that make life a little bit difficult for everyone. So yeah.
So for those listening, I'm sure everyone's seen those CCTV videos either posted to social media, and you know the comments that below that can kind of very quickly identify who that person is. How important is that to the security side of the business? Is that something you recommend, or is that something?
I think it's got to be a complete package. You've got. I mean, we often say to people the first thing you want to do is get an alarm, because even residential. Because at the end of the day, it's not so much losing your TV set. It's something, you know, of sentimental value, or the fact of having somebody in your home. That's what you really want to do, is make sure it works out there on the footpath. Yeah, or commercial property, you really want to try and make sure it works out there on the footpath. So it's all about putting deterrents in place, and the more deterrents you have, obviously the less likely you become a victim. So I think that's the key, starting there from that point of view. And then you can build on things like CCTV or fence perimeters or that type of thing from that perspective. Yeah.
Okay. And we're sitting now in this room in Hastings and Hawke's Bay. Does everything come back here? Is this where you then monitor?
Yeah. So we monitor right throughout New Zealand. So we've got a graded monitoring station. We're one of only 3 in New Zealand with our particular grading, which makes us unique. And then we have contractors or subcontractors we use out of town for guard response or technical response. But we also have a number of our clients as well that request that we do all the technical work as well. So we might have a 6-month roster or whatever the case, where the guys are out of town servicing product or installing product out of town. So yep.
And then now moving on to the marketing side of HSM, what do you do to get your message out there about what you do and why you do it?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing for us is word of mouth. and I think that's what really makes us unique is people know who we are, what we do, and what we offer, and that's probably our biggest strength has been the word of mouth scenario. And a lot, as you probably noticed in Hawke's Bay, there's a hell of a lot of stickers and signs around the place, and that is our marketing tool.
It's kind of unique, right? Like very few businesses get to put a big sticker saying warning and HSM security monitored.
Yeah. And we often get phone calls, hey look, I've seen your sticker on so and so, I've seen your sign on so and so, can you come and have a look at what we're doing. Our bigger commercial clients that we look after, again, I think it's about networking and having key sales guys on board that are actually networking with those clients and letting them know what's happening, what's going on, and what's new. What's new is important too. So yeah.
Is there anything you do with your existing customers to educate them on what trends are coming up?
Yeah, we try hard to get out every 6 months a newsletter. To be frank, we're probably about 12 months behind since the last one went out. We're just in the process of updating our website as well, and that's going to integrate a lot better with our newsletter, so we can actually post that out. So that's meant to be launched in the next couple of weeks, our new website. So we're pretty excited about that.
And what's the website address?
It's www.hsmgroup.co.nz.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So it sounds like from the products and services side, you've really got quite a compelling offering.
Yep.
And I think in the marketplace, it's quite unique being able to put your brand on everyone else's business.
Yep.
Is there any new areas that you're looking to move into that you've seen have kind of taken off internationally because of the technology that's now around cameras or around cloud services or fiber?
It's interesting. I mean, I just been to. We had a security convention in Las Vegas in April, so we went over there, and that was really interesting to see what's going on. I suppose the biggest thing with cameras and CCTV, you're probably getting a lot more value for your buck than you used to 5-10 years ago, and you got to be careful too, because there's a lot of cheap stuff out there, and when it comes to actually getting the image or getting the recording back, and the rest of it can be a little bit challenging. So we always tell a lot of our customers is don't look so much at the live picture, look at the recording side of things. Our guards and our fire department, or probably our fire department in the last 18 months is really growing. We do a lot of building warrant fitnesses, which is to do with the council. So basically a health check on people's commercial properties. So we do monthly testing, we do fire extinguishers, we do evacuations and all that type of stuff. So that's to do with IQP. So we have 3 of us that are IQP registered that can sign off for building warrant of fitness.
What does the IQP stand for?
Independent, now you got me.
I'll add in the notes later. It's
you'll
fine.
You'll have to. Independent qualified person, actually. Independent qualified person. Yeah, there we are. But again, that was quite useful going overseas, because I've been able to bring back some product that we use for testing. We've got for testing smoke detectors and heat detectors that are often in a commercial building can be 8-9 meters high. We've got this massive big pole that has the ability to test the heat detectors and also the smoke, and also has the ability to replace the detector.
Wow!
So that's great. So it just means we're not launching around some big massive ladder through a commercial property. We can walk around. So there's these neat little things like that, and there's a lot of little testing monitors and bits and pieces for the techs to use from that point of view. So yeah.
So always new technology coming out.
Yeah, always new stuff coming out. We invest a lot of money back into our guys with training. Last year alone, we were close to 20 grand's worth of training courses we put our techs through. Again, it's just keeping them up with what's going on, what's the latest, and helping us to, when we're responding to our customers, is sending the right technician who's got the experience to do the job, and that's always a challenge from that point of view.
Okay. So, Now, looking at Hawke's Bay as a region.
Yep.
There was some recent information that was published, I think, by a census or Meshblock, where they released what areas are kind of crime hotspots.
Yep.
Do you look at that, or do you actually know it more in depth from which places are alarming? Do you see the same things over and over, or is it kind of random?
Yeah, I think even if you talk to the police, a lot of them are done by the same families, or the regular faces that are doing the crime activity. I think at the end of the day, it's a funny thing with residential and with crime. It's often a bit like a lot of people do think after the horse is already bolted. So normally, unfortunately, someone waits to get burgled, then they hop on the phone and start installing a burglar alarm. It's a real challenge to try and change people's mindsets. Obviously, it was a lot more difficult, 20 years ago where we got involved in the industry. Was really, it's like people leave windows open, doors open, that type of attitude. So that's changed, just really, unfortunately, I think in the residential market, it's someone's got to be burgled or something happens to somebody to motivate them to make that phone call. Yeah,
which is tough because that's like having the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff.
Absolutely,
you really need that fence.
And absolutely, and it's grandma's jewelry or it's memories. It's things like that people they don't have. That's a sentimental value. That's the stuff they never get back again. Yeah. And as I said before, people never ever grizzle about losing their TV set. It's the fact that someone's been in your home, gone through your private things, and it's those things that they've taken that sentimental value. So, and the ironic thing is, the cost of a burglar alarm for a residential home sits around about $900 to $1,000 max. And it's nothing in the scheme of things when you think of the value of what's inside the house. So, and then you can add smoke detectors on there for your family that can be monitored through to us. So, and you can put panic alarms if you want to. You can put driveway beams. You can add on to it if you want to. But there's just a lot of options for people.
So the basics are get protected before you need to get protected.
Yep.
And protect all those memories. And it may be,
yep.
You see very often on Facebook someone's posted just losing their laptop.
Yeah.
But the laptop's got all the family
photos. Yeah, exactly.
And you can't get those memories back.
No, that's just a real challenge.
So side question, that's just a personal one I wanted to ask is, what's the most secure building or property in Hawke's Bay? What's the one that's got all the bells? And you might not be able to answer this.
Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you that. There's you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. There's people with some beautiful cars. You get to see. Hawke's Bay has a wonderful group of mixed people that have done very well in life, and so it's interesting. Yeah.
Excellent. So you're protecting some of the biggest businesses, but also some of the biggest personal collections or residential properties.
Yeah.
So good insight, but I can see, just by the body language, you can't see here in the interview, but there are some questions that Matt certainly can't answer here, but it looks like he's seen a lot.
Yeah. No, it's And Hawke's Bay is a great place. We've got a number of staff here now, and a lot of them have come out of Auckland or some of them were brought in from overseas just for skills. That's the biggest challenge in Hawke's Bay is getting skilled staff, and we really struggle with that. I mean, I've got an ad running for technicians at the moment. We could do with another 2 out of our team of 9 techs we've got on board. And just to get experienced, qualified technicians is very difficult. And we're trying now to bring them out of Auckland, or we're trying to bring them out of Christchurch. And some of them we've had to bring in from overseas, which is obviously very time consuming and a little bit frustrating. So.
Now, your last name is Stevenson.
Yep.
Is it your father that's Fred?
Yep. So Dad, Fred. Yeah. So Dad's very much involved in the business, and unless the sea's clean, he's always here. So yeah, no, he's very much hands on. So we're a family business, and we like to that motto sort of throughout how we work and how we operate, and we're both very passionate about the brand and passionate about what we deliver because. A lot of our customers are friends as well, and that makes us unique is the fact that some of our customers, they will ring us on our personal mobiles because they want a guard organised for tonight, or they want this done or that done. So we're very hands-on.
Excellent. So even though you're growing and you're bringing people in, you've still got that personal touch for that.
Absolutely.
That people can contact with you directly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're and that's really what I think also again makes us different. That we are very hands-on and very involved in the business, and we understand we're looking after people's businesses, which is everything that's tied up in that, and also their homes and their property, and you've got to be very sensitive, and you've also got to make sure we respond well. Our motto is every second counts, and I think that's something we work very hard on delivering. Yep.
Well, it's been a fascinating insight, Matt, into HSM Group and what you do and the wider picture of what's happening with security and some of the ideas and things you are now implementing that you've learned from overseas. So I wish you all the best in the future.
Great, thanks for your time.
Thank you, man.
Cheers.
If you like this episode, remember to subscribe for free on iTunes. Simply search for The Ryan Marketing Show in the iTunes Store.